Step back almost 10 million years to a world where survival was never certain. Here, on the ancient African savanna, lived Homo habilis, one of the earliest known humans. Small in stature, but big in ingenuity, these hominins carved out fragile lives in a harsh and unpredictable land. This is the story of how they raised their families, built their homes, and found the food and water that kept them alive. A group of Homo habilis huddled together, mothers holding infants, children playing in the dust. Family was at the center of Homo habilis life. Children were born weak and vulnerable, just as they are today. Mothers carried infants close to their bodies for warmth and safety. Fathers, mothers, and older siblings shared the work of watching over the young. In this fragile world, survival depended on cooperation. To raise a child was not a task for one parent, but for the whole group. Older juveniles pass food to toddlers. Women groom each other. Men watch the horizon for predators. Through grooming, touch, and the sharing of food, bonds were strengthened. It was in these small acts of care that early humans laid the foundation for the social ties that still shape us today. Shelter offered more than comfort. It was survival. Homo habilis learned to build crude huts from branches, grass, and animal hides. These shelters provided shade in the blistering heat and protection from sudden rains. Caves, when found, were precious. They offered strong walls against prowling predators. Within their shadows, families huddled together, safe but ever alert. The crackling fire at the entrance was their shield against the darkness. It was here, in huts and caves, that generations of children grew, learned, and dreamed. Narrator. Finding food was a daily struggle. Homo habilis were not powerful hunters. Their bodies were small, their tools simple. Instead, they relied on cleverness. Women searched for roots, fruits, and nuts, teaching their children which plants to eat and which ones to avoid. When predators left behind the remains of a kill, Homo habilis moved quickly. Using sharpened stones, they cut meat and cracked open bones for rich marrow, food that fueled their growing brains. It was not without risk. Hyenas and lions were never far away. Water was as vital as food. In times of drought, rivers dried to dust. Families searched the land for hidden springs or dug shallow holes where the earth still held moisture. When rains returned, the group drank from puddles and streams, knowing the cycles of plenty and scarcity would come again. At every riverbank, danger lurked. Crocodiles and other predators waited in silence. Caution was learned early. The young watched and remembered. Though they lived in a world filled with fear and uncertainty, Homo habilis left behind more than stone tools. They passed on the strength of family, the knowledge of food and shelter, and the resilience to endure. From their struggles came the first sparks of what it means to be human. In their huts and caves, beside their fires and rivers, Homo habilis planted the roots of survival, and from those roots, the story of humanity began.